Innokin Thermo RDA 27mm and 25mm. Lego! Hey guys, Vick here, back with another review. Today we are looking at this crazy thing, a 27mm RDA from Innokin the Thermo RDA, featuring wind force technology. More on that later. It comes with a big glass section up here, interchangeable posts. You can use clamps or velocity style posts. There's a 25mm version and a 27mm version. I'll show you both when we go down low. And it's just a big old chunky RDA. Bottom airflow, side airflow as well as an option. A crazy thing, a crazy thing. Let's go down low, let's build it, then let's come back up top. See you in a sec. Alright guys, here we are up close with the Thermo RDA. This is the packaging. It comes in like a tube, which is nice, interesting, all that good stuff. I'll open this one because I've got it all already. If we open this up, this is the 27mm version. The actual box, let's put that to one side. The actual box comes with quite a lot of stuff. If we slide this tube out, you get a pack inside here like this. And in this pouch there is all manner of things. You've got some cotton there. You get a spare glass section. You get an alternative deck. There's, as you can see, a velocity deck in there. You get some coils as well, some funky coils, some spare screws. I've used the coils actually, I've been playing around with them. Talk about that a bit more later. But yeah, loads of spares. It comes with some quite nice claptons, and it comes with some spaced claptons as well. Yeah, both are okay. Neither are great, but both are okay. So this is the 27mm version. Look at that. You've got your big funky drip tip. This is not a traditional one. It's like a sleeve one. That should go back on. Okay, there we go. You've got your glass tank section there. You can see that crazy airflow through the glass as well. You've got your side airflow here, which is very nice and sturdy on the 27 one. But for some reason, if I show you my 25mm one, the airflow ring's a bit different on here. It's this entire case, and it's much looser and sort of jankier really on this one for some reason. But there we go. So that is the side airflow. You've got your bottom airflow there. These are the two versions. So you've got your 27 and 25mm versions. As you can see underneath on the width there, it's quite a big size difference there. Visually, the main difference is this airflow ring, whereas on the 27 it looks like that, and on the 25 it's this entire metal section. Not 100% sure why they've gone that route, but I think the 27 one, although bigger, does look a bit better. But I'm not sure what's going on there. Essentially, other than that, they're absolutely the same. The 25 comes with two deck options as well, so let's just focus on one of them. So that's your bottom airflow. You've got Thermo Windstorm System written underneath. That's the name they've given to this fancy airflow that we'll try and get into in a minute. See if I can just get this off. I might have to screw it on a mod. Okay, so pulling it off there like that reveals the deck. I've got the clamp posts on. That's my preference really. I think clamp over velocity. I don't like the space between two velocity posts. I think it makes you have to build wider or bend your leads, whereas generally speaking with claptons, with clamp decks, you can go as close as you like together, so you don't have to make a wide coil or bend your leads. So that is that. You can see the airflow underneath. You can see that big wide deck, that big wide juice well, I should say. Very interesting indeed. If we turn our attention to the top cap, you will see we've got all kinds of crazy shenanigans going on in here. So if you look down in there, you will see you've got this thing here. It's breaking up the air a little bit. You've also got if you look really inward, you can see that they've beveled the way the air exits the RDA. They've beveled it all around. There's like 8 holes there that are all beveled in. I hope that's coming across okay. Maybe you can see it better on the side, on the glass, through the glass. But the air goes in through those slots, so it kind of comes out of the drip tip at an angle, and it creates a bit of extra friction, and yeah, it feels kind of strange when you're dragging on it. Got a swirly thing here, and on the base of the RDA they have Innokin written on the base there. So let's put this back together and give you one last look at it all together. Then we should go and build it. Let's go build this thing. Okay guys, that was the Innokin Thermo RDA up close. A quite crazy RDA. Let's be honest about it. 27mm wide. I know there are 30mm RDAs out there. I know there are 28mm RDAs out there. 27mm this puppy. A huge thing. Now that does come with its advantages. You can absolutely tip juice into this thing. It kind of functions more like an RDTA than an RDA. Absolutely huge well. You can splodge some juice in there and you can have a good 20-25 vapes before you need to drop any more juice in there. And when you drop in the juice in, you can really just drop it in. That being said, one aspect of this RDA that does need remembering is you cannot drip down the tip. I myself am a tip dripper. I like to put it down there, but not with this one. You do need to pull it off and splodge it in. That being said though, the O-ring tension is very good on this RDA. The cap comes off very well, but at the same time supports its own weight very well. Very well put together O-rings. The actual look of this thing I think is probably the most crazy thing. The 25mm version has a huge bow in it. The 27mm version has this big old shiny resin, I guess, drip tip, which will either match what you've got or it won't. And I don't know what to say about that. You know, some people will like this fancy tip, some people will just wish it came with a normal one and they could put their own on, but that is just the way it is. It's also got this glass section on it as well. We've talked about this before. Glass section on RDAs, it's a chocolate teapot, it really is, because a second you've had a vape, it all steams up and you cannot see through it at all. Absolutely pointless, you know. So I don't know if it's there for aesthetics or what, but I don't think it adds the aesthetics when it's all steamed up. So a crazy thing. In terms of the post combinations options, I suppose it is really good that they've got a velocity one if you prefer velocity, they've got a clamp system if you prefer clamps. So that's dandy, you can't really complain at that. So I'm going to put that down as a positive. It's got side and bottom airflow. Now you can't really stop the bottom airflow, but you can stop the side. So it's a nice to have that additional airflow if you need it. For me, it's plenty airy just with the underneath airflow. So the side is just if you want to blow some absolutely monstrous clouds, I guess, at really high wattage. It's certainly an RDA you can do that with. It really is potentially very cloudy. You can put huge coils in here, you can ramp your wattage right up, and you can open all this air, and you could cloud chase quite successfully with this. That being said, though, the airflow does need discussing. Now, I've shown you down low, but it's got these crazy air things at the top. You know, it's like a spiraling way that the air gets sucked out, or sucked in, rather, as the case may be. So it's got a strange feel to the draw. When you take a hit, it does have a very unique feel to it. I don't know if that comes across on camera, but it definitely feels like overly swooshy, like there's far more going on inside the tank than normal, where the air would just be coming straight through the drip tip. It's actually coming in at an angle throughout, and I don't know if that actually does anything to the vape. If I'm being perfectly honest, I have no idea what effect that is having on the vapor reduction, on the flavour. I just know that until you get used to it, it's quite weird. One thing you don't get, however, with this format is spitback, which I guess for someone on high power would be a positive. So there's a wide range and wide variety of pros and cons to this RDA. Personally, I think it's for really cloudy types. I think it's for people that are wanting to go really high wattage with their RDA. Genuinely think there are better flavour RDAs out there. I also think there are probably better cloudy RDAs out there, but it's definitely on the cloudier side than the flavour side, for sure. It's a cloudier thing rather than a flavour thing. I think stylistically it's a bit mad, a bit crazy, a bit out there. That's going to come down to your personal tastes. I'll leave that one with you. It performs, it does what it's meant to do. It just seems a little bit overkill. For me, fundamentally, if I wanted an RDA purely for clouds, purely for massive clouds, high wattage, I wouldn't want underneath coil airflow. I would want something else altogether. I would want it to be on the side, because you just want that direct airflow. I also wouldn't want a weird airflow system as well. I wouldn't want this swooshiness from an out cloud thing, because the more friction, the more directional your vapor is going, the more it disperses on its way, you know. So I'm really not sure where they're going with this and what their intention for this was. It's not a flavour RDA in my opinion. You can ramp it up, you can get decent flavour, but there are far tastier RDAs out there. If they were going for an out cloud machine of an RDA, then I think they've kind of missed a trick as well. You know, you've got your glass bit, which is unnecessary, you've got your undercoil airflow, which is unusual for a cloud blower, and you've got this unusual airflow, which again would be a strange move if it was for a competition style thing. So a little bit of a confusing one. There's nothing madly wrong with it, you know. So if this has caught your eye, you really want it, just get it. That's absolutely fine, just get it. There's nothing madly wrong with it at all. But for me, it just seems like a bit confusing. So maybe they could just pull it back a step and look to build just a very solid RDA. I'd be interested in Innokin to do that. I've been Vick, and I'll see you again soon.